Hey guys, we are back with some more MODO Eastside Hockey Manager, and in this one, before we get things started, we are going to check out some of the league history of not only the SHL, but the CHL, the World Championships, and the Olympics. There was a comment a couple of videos ago, I believe, asking to check all those leagues, so that is what we will be doing. So we'll start out with the SHL. So as we look at the league history here for the SHL, Färjestad won in year number 1, then Linköping in year number 2, Frölunda in year number 3, Färjestad again in year number 4, Malmö in year number 5, and last year, Linköping won once again. Now, as we look at the Champions League history, you have Frölunda HC winning over ZSC Lions in year number 1, and then Alder Mannheim winning over HC Energy Karlovy Vary in year number 2. I'm guessing that was a Czech league team. In year number 3, Tarun Palasura won over Färjestad in year number 3. And then Ramun Luko won over EV Zug. Again, I apologize if I'm butchering any names here. And then Färjestad won the last 2 years as well over Brinas and Kupian Kalpa. Again, I know I'm butchering those. So the winners of the Olympics, the most recent Olympics of 2023, go to Canada, and the runners-up, the Czech Republic, and third place was Sweden. And the World Championships. In year number 1, you have Canada winning over Sweden, and then in year number 2, Sweden over the United States. Year number 3, Canada over the United States. Year number 4, Canada over the United States again. And then in year number 5, Canada over Russia. And then year number 6, Russia over Canada. So with that all being done, now we can get the rest of year number 7 out of the way and hopefully into the playoffs for yet another year. Although this time, there's a little extra pressure to win it because it's been nearly 7 years now and we haven't made much progress. So the upcoming schedule, we have Troja, Ljungby, Karlskoga, Södertälje, Oskarshamn, Västerås, Mora, Västervik, and Karlskrona coming up in December. So good news, Sebastian Dyke is back and ready to play, so we will take Tom Lindberg out of the lineup and Dyke back in for sure. And Max Miller, unfortunately, is out for 10 days with a neck strain. You hate to see it. We're going to get Lindberg back in there. And now, unfortunately, Oscar Lindberg has been suspended for a game, so we're going to have to get, that means Lars Gorant Seymour in there. Well, here we go. Here comes the injury train. Jacob Schmidt-Svedstrup is out for 10 days as well with a neck strain. Man, they're going down left and right now. And the player of the month is Eric Forsberg of your MODO Hockey. And the rookie of the month is Fabian Lysell of Västerås. So goaltender stats after the month of December. Eric Forsberg has been relied on heavily lately. He has gone 25-2 so far with a .921 save percentage and an 8 average rating. And Victor Olsson has played 8 games, an .875 save percentage, and a 7 average rating. On defense, you have Norberg with 17 points, 16 points for Johansson and Mikowski, 8 for Alsing and Ginning, 5 for Sixna, 4 for Carlson and McDonald. Average ratings, Mikowski with a 7.29, Johansson with a 7.18, a 7.03 for Norberg, a 6.88 for Alsing, a 6.79 for McDonald, a 6.76 for Ginning, a 6.71 for Sixna, and a 6.59 for Carlson. Forwards, you have Janssen with 33 points, 31 for Waugh and Schmidt-Svedstrup, 28 for Naslund, Rimshaw, and Tracy, 21 for Miller, 15 for Dyke, 12 for Lindberg, Oscar Lindberg that is, 11 for Larson and Winkvist, and 9 for Boresnev. Average ratings, you have a 7.72 for Schmidt-Svedstrup, and then Tracy with a 7.70, a 7.65 for Janssen, a 7.44 for Waugh, a 7.35 for Naslund, a 7.25 for Dyke, a 7.12 for Rimshaw, a 7.09 for Miller, a 6.59 for Boresnev, a 6.58 for Lindberg, a 6.48 for Winkvist, a 6.36 for Lindberg, and a 6.35 for Larson. And a standings update after 34 games, we are 21-9-2-2, and we have 69 points on the season so far with roughly, I would say, 52 games in the season. We have 18 games left, so if we could keep going on this pace, then we should be good for a top 2 spot. But then again, last season, we all know what happened in the final months, so anything could still happen. Let's make sure that we take control of the last couple of months here. And reviewing the past month's games, we had a 6-0 win over Troja Ljungby and a 3-2 win over Karlskoga, a 2-1 shootout loss against Södertälje, a 7-3 loss against Oskarshamn, a 3-2 shootout loss against Västerås, and then a quite the long break there between Västerås and Mora, where we won 4-2, a 4-0 win against Västervik, and a 3-2 overtime win against Karlskrona. And in the upcoming month of January, we have Almtuna, Troja Ljungby, Vida Hasten, Tingsryd, Sundsvall, Björklöven, Karlskoga, Södertälje again, Oskarshamn, and Västerås. And Igor Larsson has been ranked 38th in the NHL entry draft mid-season rankings. I believe before he was ranked somewhere in the early third round. Now he's early second round. So quite the jump from the preseason draft rankings. Widmark is also ranked 109th in the import draft. And unfortunately, Jacob Schmidt-Svedstrup has been injured once again with a chest injury for 2 weeks this time. Hate to see one of our best players going down with an injury constantly. And good news, Schmidt-Svedstrup is back once again, so we will take out Larsson and get in Schmidt-Svedstrup. And Filip Norberg is out for 3 weeks with a hip flexor strain. The injuries are kind of biting a bit hard here in the second half of this season. And the Allsvenskan Player of the Month is Mora's Isaac Wallen. And the Rookie of the Month is Simon Aho of Mora as well. And goaltender stats after January, Eric Forsberg with 37 games played and a .924 save percentage. He has been by far the better goaltender so far this year and an .805 average rating. Victor Olsson with 11 games played, an .882 save percentage, and a .709 average rating. Defense, you have 22 points for Mikowski, 21 for the injured Norberg, 20 for Johansson, 12 for Alsing, 10 for Ginning, 7 for Carlson and Sixna, 5 for McDonald, and nothing for Bengtsson in 3 games. Average ratings, you have Mikowski with a .727, a .720 for Johansson, a .702 for Norberg, 691 for Alsing, a .676 for Sixna, a .673 for Ginning, a .671 for McDonald, a .662 for Carlson, and a 6 for Bengtsson. Forwards, you have Tracy with 41 points. He was a good signing. 40 points for Rimsha, 38 for Janssen and Waugh, 37 for Naslund, 33 for Svedstrup in 36 games, 24 for Miller, 19 for Dyke in 27 games, 17 for Lindberg, 14 for Larsson, 13 for Winqvist, 12 for Beresnev, and 8 for Lindberg. Average ratings, you have a .773 for Tracy, a .767 for Schmidt-Svedstrup, a .744 for Waugh, a .742 for Janssen, a .731 for Naslund, a .713 for Rimshaw, a .707 for Dyke, a .705 for Miller, a .667 for Beresnev, a .655 for Lindberg, a .648 for Winqvist, a .644 for Lindberg, and a .631 for Larsson. And a standings update with 7 games remaining. We are 26, 12, 2, and 5 with 87 points. We're currently tied with Mora. Although they have more regulation wins, we do have the same amount of points, and it looks like we would beat them in a tiebreaker, at least at the moment. So we do have to pick it up here in this final stretch. We went 5-3-0-3 in January, so not too bad, but not the greatest either. As we take a look at the past month's games, we had a 2-0 loss against Almtuna, a 4-1 win against Troja Ljungby, a 3-1 win against Vida Hasten, a 5-2 win against Tingsryd, a 5-4 loss against Sundsvall, I believe that is, and a 4-3 shootout loss against Björklöven, a 6-1 win against Karlskoga, a 4-1 win against Södertälje, a 4-3 shootout loss against Södertälje, a 4-3 shootout loss again against Oskarshamn, and a 2-0 loss against Västerås. And for the upcoming month, we have the remaining games in the regular season with Almtuna, Mora, Västervik, Karlskrona, Tingsryd, Troja Ljungby, and Vida Hasten. So with 2 games remaining, we are in a 3-way tie for second right now with Oskarshamn and Mora. With 93 points currently, it is going to come down to the wire. So here we are at the end of the regular season of year number 6. Let's check out the goaltender stats to start things out. In 43 games played, Eric Forsberg had a .922 save percentage and a .798 average rating. He was a beast throughout the entire season, really. I mean, he only had roughly, 12 games off because Victor Olsson only played 12 games, had an .885 save percentage and a .717. It was clear who was the better goaltender. On defense, you have 25 points for Mikowski, 24 for Johansson, 22 for Norberg, 13 for Alsing, 10 for Ginning, 8 for McDonald and Sixna, and 7 for Carlson. Average ratings, you have a .723 for Mikowski, a .714 for Johansson, a .702 for Norberg, a .687 for Alsing, a .679 for Sixna, a 677 for McDonald, a 667 for Jennings, and a 658 for Carlson. And at forward, you have 49 points for Braden Tracy, led our team in points this year, 48 points for Rimshaw, 43 for Wah, 42 for Schmidt-Svedstrup in 43 games, 41 for Janssen, 39 for Naslund, 27 for Miller, 21 for Dyke, 19 for Lindberg, 14 for Larson, who hasn't played in about a month or so, 14 for Winkvist, 12 for Beresnev, 10 for Lindberg, and 1 for Seymour in 4 games. Average ratings, you have a 776 for Tracy, a 767 for Schmidt-Svedstrup, a 746 for Wah, a 731 for Janssen, a 725 for Naslund, a 708 for Rimshaw, a 703 for Dyke, a 7 for Miller, 660 for Beresnev, a 651 for Lindberg, a 645 for Winkvist, a 644 for Lindberg, and a 631 for Larson. And so we qualified for the top 2, and we get to face Almtuna in the championship series. We went 29, 15, 3, and 5 on the season, ending with 98 points. We just barely clinched it. Oscar Sham was pretty close with 96, as was Mora with 96 as well. So it was a really tight race to the finish, but we came out on top, at least in that race. Now, we have to face Almtuna, of course. So we will take a look at the schedule ahead. So we face Almtuna in what I believe is a 5-game series. Yes, indeed. It says best of 5 on the bottom. I got fooled by that a couple of years ago when we first made it into the championship series, when we had lost against, who was it? Was it Björklöven, I think? But nonetheless, we got fooled last time by that, but I will not be fooled again, as we know this time that is a 5-game series. And also, hopefully we don't, but if we do happen to lose, there is another series after that, roughly a month after, actually more than a month afterward. I think it's somewhere in the middle of April that we have to play another series, even if we lose the championship series against Almtuna. But again, hopefully we don't, and hopefully we can go on to contending for the SHL. So now we will take a look at the remainder of our games that were in February. Almtuna, we had a 4-2 loss and a 3-0 loss against Mora, a 5-3 loss against Vastavik. So I believe that is that's a 6-game losing streak going back to January 26th against Södertälje. But then you have a 4-1 win against Karlskrona, a 3-2 win against Tingsryd, a 5-1 win against Troja Ljungby, and a 4-3 win against Vida Hasten. So that being said, I will end this one off here. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one when we face Almtuna in the championship series of year number 7. See you guys then.